Habang malapit nang matuldukan ang internal security threats ng bansa, hindi rin ipinagsasawalang bahala ng pamahalaan ang pagpapalakas ng kakayahan ng AFP sa pagtugon sa panlabas na hamong pangseguridad. Lalo pang naging aktibo ang sandatahang lakas sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa international counterparts nito. 3 buwan mula nang maupo si Pangulong Marcos, lumahok ang AFP sa 25 bilateral engagements at 3 multilateral activities kasama ang malalaking bansa gaya ng Estados Unidos, Australia at Canada. Inaasang magpapatuloy pa ang mga ito dahil halimbawa na lang ng nabanggit ni General Bacaro, magkakaroon ng 496 defense and security engagements ang Pilipinas at ang Estados Unidos para sa susunod na taon. Kasama na rito ang balikatan exercises. Sa external defense naman ng bansa, sa unang 100 araw ni President Marcos, nakapag-conduct ang AFP ng 77 maritime at 44 air patrols. Gamit ang maritime at air domain awareness platforms, nagresulta ito sa pagkakatukoy sa higit 32,000 vessels na dumaraan sa karagatang sakop ng ating teritoryo. Kaya naman napakahalagang mabigyang pansin ang modernisasyon ng sandatahang lakas para mas masigurong nababantayan ang mga hangganan ng bansa. Kaugnay nito sa pagpapatuloy ng AFP Modernization Program, nasa 50 proyekto na ang nakumpleto sa Horizons 1 at 2, habang higit 80 proyekto ang pinoproseso pa. Kumpiyansa rin ng AFP na suportado ng Pangulo ang pagpapatuloy ng Modernization Program, lalo pat nasa Horizon 3 na ito.
Sir, patapos na ang problema sa insurensiya. Tayo ba ay magko-concentrate na sa problema ng pag-protect sa teritoryo natin like West Philippine Sea?
Right now, kahit hindi pa natatapos yung ating problema sa insurgency, there are already efforts, there are ongoing efforts way back pa that would enable us to look outward. I mean to say, come up with addressing our external problem. So, there are 2 mission areas. One is internal and external defense. Internal, naayos na natin. So, right now, we are looking at the external defense. We have yung modernization natin. We have 3 horizons, Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and Horizon 3. Horizon 1 would specifically address yung internal threat natin. Then gradually shifting towards, having a 100% capability in addressing yung internal natin. Then growing towards the attainment of credible deterrence as we go to Horizon 3. Meron tayong strategy dyan. And yung strategy natin dyan is by us being able to detect the enemy, identify who the enemy is, interdict the enemy, and neutralize the enemy. So we are on, yung horizon natin naka-define dun sa, naka-anchor dun sa strategy natin yan. And we are happy to state that Horizon 1, we are almost complete, 66% right now, and will be 100% by 2026. Kasi ito, yung mga programa kasing ito, it's a continuing activity. Then sa Horizon 2, we are at about 15%. And by 2027, we'll be at 55%.
At present, sir, meron tayong exercises ng US and Philippine Navy. Sa gitna ito ng conflict ng West Philippine Sea, what is the wider picture of this?
Well, let me state that yung mga exercise natin does not only involve the United States. Okay. We have bilateral agreements, we have multilateral agreements also with other countries. We are talking about Japan, Indonesia, Australia, the US, and so forth. A lot of countries, But
including China and Russia. So.
Oh yes, we do have. Biggest kasi dyan is the balikatan. That's what we're having right now. As a matter of fact, we just came from a meeting with our counterpart, Indo-Pacific Command, and we have laid down about almost 500 activities. But yung activities na yan can come in the form of not just yung malakihan, exercises at sea, but will also include trainings on land, engineering capability activities, so on and so forth. So napakarami. This is being vetted right now, and it will involve a total of about 15,000 soldiers. I think this is the biggest activity right now, the biggest ever. balikatan activity that we will be having. Sabi nga nila, it's a very, very robust activity, robust in the sense that napakalaki nito. And this, I think, is based on the fact that during the past 2 years, wala tayong nagawang activities. So we are trying to maximize this. And of course, the gains that we can derive from here is our ability to operate with our counterparts, with our allies, our ability to leverage in terms of the technology that they have right now. As a matter of fact, I just came from Cebu. And Cebu, we are conducting exercise Sama-Sama and Lumbas. Yung Sama-Sama and Lumbas are two distinct bilateral activities. The one is with the US and the other one is with Australia. So this time, what we did was combine those two activities, and we are having it in the area of Cebu right now. This is a Navy activity that is also participated by navies of other countries. We have navies from Japan, Canada, the Brunei Royal Navy, and then a lot more. And ito nga, the intent here is to really be able to perform together when the need arises.
When the need arises,
Yes.
conflict with China.
No, not with China, with any, but the purpose there is to maintain a region. There is collaboration with everybody. A region. I'm referring to the Indo-Pacific region. That region that we all perform based on a rule-based obligation.
In the last few weeks, sir, nagka-problema tayo sa Ayungin Shoal. And right now, meron tayong 40 billion na naka-allocate sa modernization program ng Armed Forces. Isa ba ang BRP Sierra Madre na station natin dun sa Ayungin Shoal ang sa mga priority na i-improve, develop, in order to also address the problems of our troops in the islands?
Let me answer that by saying that right now there are ongoing just minor repairs on Sierra Madre, or what we call LS-57. This is the intent to increase the survivability of our soldiers there. So we would like to sustain our presence at the Ayungin Shoal by having LS prolonging or improving
Inassure na ba tayo ng
conditions.
China, so na hindi maharas yung mga nagre-resupply?
I think there were some instances wherein they would challenge the conduct of resupply operations or rotation. We call it RORE, rotation and resupply operations. But successful naman lahat ng RORE natin in the area. We are able to continue providing for the needs of our soldiers. That is in the form of food and water, specifically water, and rotate our troops every 2 months.
Have you formally communicated with China, sir, with the Chinese military on this regard, that we are just on our resupply missions?
Well, communicated.
Do we have agreement?
No, I don't think that is our land. That is ours. So there is no need to ask permission if that is the intent. There's no need to ask permission because that is ours. And we are there to provide sustenance. So guys, sabi ko, to make sure that our soldiers survive, and nobody can deter us from doing that.
Some lawmakers have urged President Marcos for more gas explorations in the area, like Recto Bank and all. But because of insistence ng mga China ships, hindi tayo natutuloy dun sa exploration. What's your thought on this?
For lack of a better term, they're trying to control the area, but that is ours. That is ours. So, well, we will just wait for a political decision as to what actions will be taken. But sayang yung resources. So we have available resources in the area, and those resources can contribute again. Going back to our earlier discussion on the possible increase of our economic activity.
In our modernization program, the AFP, what are expected? Ano ang asahan ng sambayang Pilipino na magkakaroon tayo ng mga bagong...
Yan yung dream ng karamihan ng ating mga kasunduluhan. We're looking at us having multi-role fighters. We're referring to planes that we have right now. We're looking at artillery pieces that would provide indirect fires to support our troops. We're even looking at having missiles. Yung missiles natin, it can be shore-based aeroplano, So we also are looking at having better Navy ships, to enable us to patrol yung ating sovereign areas, and a lot more, medium tanks and small items. Yun nga, yung pinaka siguro palaging naririnig ng ating mga kababayan, additional rotary wings such as Black Hawks.
Can we say we still have a long way to go in order to fully equip our sandatahang lakas?
Well, that would depend on the available funding. No, but right now,
But would you ask for more budget, sir, for the military?
well, siguro kung meron pang available, if they can continue to give more to the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Would you insist to prioritize the budget of modernization? More budget?
Yes, kung kaya. If we are not that rich of a country, but if they can allocate more for us being able to further improve the level or the status of our modernization, then I think that would be better for all of us.
Anong naging leksyon natin, sir, because of the Russian-Ukraine war? May mga bagong sumusulpot na mga idea, the Taiwan conflict and itong China Sea conflict. Anong mga sumusulpot na concerns ninyo na ideas na babase dito sa Ukraine-Russia war?
Well, there are assessments, not coming from us, but there is assessment coming from think tanks. Hindi sa Pilipinas, but sa labas, that this and that, pwedeng gayahin. But tayo, we will just be ready. The point is we must be ready to provide the minimum credible deterrence to protect our country, to protect our sovereignty. I think that is demanded from the Armed Forces of the Philippines. We will die with the last Filipino soldiers standing protecting this country.
Pero marami pa rin nagtatanong, sir, saan ba daw ang Pilipinas? Sa Russia or sa US?
Ang Pilipinas is nandito sa baba ng Taiwan and we are an independent sovereign country, and it is mandated that the Armed Forces of the Philippines, together with other law enforcement agencies, collaborate and ensure that we can protect the Philippine people.
But why are we backing down on our purchase of equipment sa Russia?
We are not backing down, but there are conditions happening beyond us, the current political dynamics in their region that would, in a way, hindi may push through yung pag-purchase. One of that is the banking system. There's no means to transfer funds and so on and so forth. I think we are all aware of that. And right now, the Department of Defense is taking action right now. We're looking at probable contact termination. There is a review committee that has been established to look at it and maybe come up with a solution or a recommendation as to what course of action is to be taken next.
Napakaraming programa ng gobyerno natin ngayon towards reconciliation, peace. Your direction is anchored on the direction of the President. What are you seeing in the President's direction? How would you describe his direction towards the total peace that we are all dreaming of?
Well, actually, napakaganda nung direction ng ating President. Even before the election, he has called for unity for all. Whatever sector of the society, whatever side of center where you are, the call for unity. And I think everybody would agree that it is only through us, gaya na bagit kanina, being a unified, a people that has a common vision. Napakaganda kasi if we have a people that has a common vision, doon tayo mag-gravitate lahat. And you can only do that if there is unity. So the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be one of that sector that would push and even call for everybody to start looking at ourselves. Let us try to be part of that great undertaking of our current President na we all move forward, being united, one Filipino people. And ayun na nga, that is externally looking from the perspective of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. If you remember, during my assumption as the Chief of Staff, I have rallied also our soldiers as a memory peg so that it can be easily remembered. Because yung mga sundalo natin, alam na nila na the President is always calling for unity. So my trust looking internally is also pegged in the word unity. Which states that U is for unparalleled professionalism. The Armed Forces of the Philippines has reached a certain level na ang taas-taas na ng tingin ng mga kababayan. As a matter of fact, during the last survey, in terms of the trust and acceptance rating, hindi kami bumaba sa number 1 and number 2. So this is a manifestation that we are doing well This is a manifestation that the Filipino people has to recognize our contribution in the society. Napakaganda. So that's unparalleled. That's the first letter. Then the second letter is the letter N, which is the noble utilization of our resources. Well, I think it is only through us being able to manage the available resources given to us, such as personnel, our logistic resources, our financial resource, and the time given to us to accomplish our mission. I included time as an intangible part of the resources given to us by the government. Time is very, very critical. So I think we should manage all of those resources. Kaya nga, there's a need for a noble utilization of the resources that we have. Letter I is improving yung aming capability development. The letter T is the tenacious sustainment of our gains. May gains na kami, bakit pa natin papakawalan ito? So the only way to move is to move forward and continue addressing the challenges that we have. Di namin yung, we will dilly-dally. If I am asked nga, kailan nyo tatapusin yan? Personally, sabi, on hindsight, sabi ko, ang sagot dyan is yesterday. That is just to emphasize the urgency and the need to be able to put an end dito sa challenges na ito, sa problems na ito. And of course, the last letter is the letter Y in the word unity, that we continue to yearn for excellence. So, I think if that would be the direction of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and hindi kami magkukulang at hindi kami magkakamali. Yung letter Y nga, yearning for excellence, I am reminded of a personal mantra which I have been abiding since I was a battalion commander, brigade commander, division, and then area commander until now as the chief of staff. My personal mantra is doing common things uncommonly well. So we just continue doing our job. Then I think if we just give the extra mile, the extra effort, the extra step to do our job, then we will be all successful. We will be able to attain yung vision and contribute to, a peaceful Philippines.
General Bacaro, you were a Medal of Valor awardee, and you are the first Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines who will serve for a fixed 3 years. How challenging is this? Are you thinking of the 3 years could be a very long time for you to respond to the needs of the time for the area? Or any plans for the next 2 years?
Well, it really is a challenge. 3 years would be a challenge for anybody, not only for me. 3 years to sit as the Chief of Staff will be a challenge. But I do not consider it, I do not see it as parang mahaba ang panahon. I'm telling myself, as long as I continue to do my job, focus on what I am doing, that 3 years will be very, very short.
Parang mayor at congressman din, tatlong taon.
Yes. So, yung 3 years na yun, continue lang sa trabaho, focus on the job that you have right now, and you continue one step at a time towards the attainment of whatever visions that we have. Of the visions that we have, I think that 3 years, mararamdaman mo later on, parang kulang. And I am very happy that I have competent commanders, I have competent staff, and I have dedicated, committed soldiers on the ground. And I think the 3-year challenge will be made easy by the support that I'm getting from them.
Much has been said about accomplishments after 100 days in the presidency of President Marcos. Nakikinig po ang sambayan ng Pilipino ngayon. Ano ang pinakamensahe ng ating AFP Chief of Staff sa mamamayang Pilipino?
Well, sa aking mga kababayan, aking pong pinapangako bilang Chief of Staff pinuno ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na patuloy po ang inyong mga kasandaluhan, ang inyong mga marino, ang inyong mga mandaragat at ang inyong mga piloto, mga airmen ay patuloy po yung mananilbihan sa inyong lahat. We have nothing in mind except to continue being of service to the Filipino people and ensuring the safety of everyone.
General Bacaro, thank you so much for your time. We hope that lahat ng hiling ninyo ay magtagumpay kayo para sa bayan natin.
Maraming salamat din, Ceasar, sa pagkakataong binigay mo sa amin.
Hindi birong pamunuan ng isang institusyong kritikal ang papel sa pagpapanatili ng kaayusan at pagbibigay daan sa kaunlaran ng bansa. Sandatahang lakas na sinubok na ng kasaysayan, ngunit nananatiling nakatindig bilang magigiting na kalasag ng mga Pilipino. Para kay General Bacaro, hindi maisa sa katuparan ng anumang naisin kung walang pagtutulungan. Kung iisa ang direksyong nais tahakin, madaling makakamit ang bisyon. At sa pagsasabuhay ng pagkakaisa, ang tagumpay ay tiyak na magiging abot kamay.
Magandang Gabi Pilipinas.